Welcome to Connected Cultures. I'm Kinsey Adams.
And I'm Jalen Sturdivant. Today we're talking about Colombia. I had the chance to sit down with App State professor Dr. Tayas.
This week, our crew had a chance to learn about the foods, traditions, and some cool facts about the country. But first, let's see how COVID is in Colombia.
Thanks. Residents of Colombia are slowly beginning to experience more and more patients recovering from the coronavirus disease, with active cases of the disease being down to about 15,647, which is much exciting news for the people of Colombia. As the outbreak began on March 6, 2020, the total numbers of infection since the outbreak stand at over 4 million, with the death toll being over 100,000. When it comes to the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine, Colombia has surpassed 40 million doses at a time when the country's daily numbers of new infections are similar to those at the beginning of the pandemic. Over 250,000 doses were given, despite the depleting supplies of Moderna vaccines in Bogota, according to the Ministry of Health. Colombia is also now beginning to approach over 17 million people having completed the full vaccination cycle. President Ivan Duque has stated that the country is on track for meeting its goal for the year to have at least 70% of the population, 35 million Colombians, with full vaccination. President Duque also highlighted that the National Vaccination Plan, which was launched on February 11th, continues to extend immunization to minors, despite them being a population that wasn't in the original plan. Recently, in the past month, the country received over 338,000 additional doses from Pfizer for those who still need to complete their vaccination schedules, such as pregnant women and persons aged 12 to 17. All in all, Colombia has received over 15.6 million doses from Pfizer, of which 1.2 million arrived as part of the COVAX mechanism, co-led by Gavi, WHO, and Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations. The Ministry of Health's Herman Escobar confirmed in a statement that the agreement with Pfizer represents approximately 20% of the total vaccines purchased in 2021. Also, donations of vaccine doses were made by other countries, such as the United States having donated 6.9 million doses and Spain 2.1 million. Over 18 million residents have completed the full vaccination cycle, either with a single dose of Janssen or double doses of Moderna, Sinovac, and AstraZeneca. Colombia's daily numbers are reported to be in sharp contrast to countries grappling with a fourth wave and new infections, despite having greater percentages of their populations fully vaccinated. In recent news, the State Department is investigating the so-called Havana syndrome at the U.S. Embassy in Colombia, as new complaints of brain injuries being linked to said illness has been discovered, said a senior administration official last Tuesday. It was not clear how many people might have been afflicted by the mysterious illness at the embassy in Bogota, the Colombian capital, and the illness's symptoms of headaches, nausea, dizziness, and memory loss. Although the origins of Havana syndrome currently remain unknown, it is known that its symptoms are similar to those caused by surveillance equipment that Russia used during the Cold War. Officials are to ensure that employees get the prompt and proper care that they need, according to the State Department spokesman, Ned Price. President Duque of Colombia has said that while the United States was taking the lead, that the intelligence services of Colombia was also investigating. We'll be keeping an eye out for how the situation with the Havana syndrome develops.
I really hope everything works out, especially after what they went through with COVID.
But now let's go to Kinsey as she teaches us some interesting facts she learned about Colombia.
Colombia has the most endemic animals in the world. Not only do they have diverse plants and animals that are unique to Colombia, over 9,000 species are included in this, including the Amazonian pink dolphins and the cotton-top tamarins. Colombia is also the #1 biodiverse country in the world. Colombia is #1 for emerald exploration. 70 to 90% of emeralds all over the world come from Colombia. They have a more greenish tint, where their rivals have a more bluish tint in Zambia. Most people have tasted or heard of Colombian coffee. They are #3 in the world. Colombia is often voted one of the happiest countries in the world. In 2013 and 2014, they were #1 on the list, with Envirometer Happiness and Hope Foundation's list. Even when they're not number one, they still find their way up top. The national anthem is required by law to be played twice per day on both the radio and TV stations, normally 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. The town of Loro and Caicos experiences the most annual rainfall in the world, even more than Seattle, London, and Scotland. 49 feet. There are many famous people that came from Colombia, but the most popular is the world-famous Shakira. Colombia is home to so many unique plants, animals, and people. What do they not have? I literally have to visit. Well, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.
It was great to learn that those Pink River dolphins were in Colombia, but did you know that they have this strange ability to rotate their neck like most dolphins can't? So when they jump out of the water, sometimes they'll do a little
Wow, Pink River dolphins really are in a league of their own.
Right, for sure. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from Dr. Tayas.
Welcome back to Connected Cultures. This week we're learning about Colombia. I was able to sit down and interview one of App State's professors, Dr. Tayas, who tells us a little about life there. Hi, I'm Jalen Sturdivant, and welcome to Connected Cultures.
Hola, mi nombre es Andrés Tayas y les doy la bienvenida a Connected Cultures.
Hey, I'm Jalen Sturdivant, and today I'm joined with Dr. Tayas. How are you doing, Dr. Tayas?
Very good, very excited to be here with you guys.
So today we are here to talk about Colombia. How long did you live in Colombia for?
I was born and raised in Colombia. I have lived for most of my life in Colombia and especially in Bogota, in the capital. In 2012, I came here to North Carolina for getting my PhD at NC State. By the end of 2017, I went back to Colombia. I was there for 3.5 years, and then I had the fortune to come back to North Carolina and to Boone. So I just moved to Boone in March this year, 2021.
How are you enjoying it so far?
We love it here. My family and I. It's a very different pace of life. Bogota is a huge city with all the good things and the bad things of a big city. So we really like it here, being closer to nature, enjoying also a slower pace of life. We like the people here very much, so we feel very good, yeah.
And what would you say life was like in Colombia while living there?
So Colombia is a very diverse country in terms of people, geography. The type of life that you have there depends greatly on where you live in the country. It's different if you live in Bogota, right, than if you live in a small fishing town in the Pacific. It's like two completely different worlds. I had the opportunity to live for 2 years as a child in a small town, so that gave me a very different perspective of my country and the people, and like that helped me to open my understanding of what Colombia was about.
And going off of that, what would you say schooling was like?
So I had the fortune to go and attend a private school there that helped me to, I guess, find my path, because I had the fortune to have, by the end of my high school, have extracurricular classes both in design and anthropology. My background is in industrial design. Before going to design school, I started anthropology in college, but that was because of that kind of exposure that I had in my school. But that's not common. At the school level, public universities tend to be very, very good. Some of them are the best universities in the country, but at the school level, that's not the case.
And I know that you spoke about a little bit before on how the difference is with the big city, but I wanted to expand on that and just talk about your perspective and the difference of the move from entering here into this space in North Carolina from Colombia.
For the first time when we came in 2012, for me what was most surprising was the role that families play in people's adult lives. So we usually, in Colombia, we are very close to our families. We plan our lives around our families. We don't leave our house, our parents' house, until we either get married or we move to another city or another country. If you leave your house and you live in the same city, people is going to question, so why did you move? You were having conflicts with your parents, or so we tend to live much closer to our families, to see and interact with our extended families almost on a weekly basis. It was surprising here that the relationship with families was not as close as what I was used to. However, what I really like is the type of connections that you develop here with friends. Our friends became like the family we chose. That was very surprising the first time that we came here.
I know we've been talking a lot about the life in Colombia and the difference in culture and lifestyle, and I wanted to ask you, what was, in your opinion, the hardest part about growing up in Colombia?
Mm-hmm. So, I grew up in Colombia in the 80s. And in the 80s, I don't know if you have seen, for instance, on Netflix, a show called Narcos. But basically in the 80s, there was the Medellin cartel, and Pablo Escobar declared war against the Colombian state. I mean, I was a child when this happened, but there were bombings every week in major cities. In Bogota, I remember at least hearing 20 different car bombs in different moments of my life there in the 80s, and remember watching the news very concerned because I don't know when this was going to affect me directly or my family. So that was horrible. So I really I'm conflicted with that. Those kind of modern TV shows showing the life in Colombia at that time, or in other in Mexico. They also have a very very serious problem with drug trafficking, because people in the ground, they suffer a lot. I mean, in rural areas, in the cities. So yeah, I think that was the hardest part for me growing up in the 80s in Colombia.
Well, I want to say thank you for being vulnerable with me and sharing that experience with me. And I just want to say thank you so much again for your time and just for all the words and culture experiences that you've shared with me today.
Sure. Thank you, and thank you for the invitation.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks.
It was really interesting to see how he talks about the media romanticizing the drug culture and the cartel. And it's sad to hear that he grew up in that situation.
Definitely, I agree. It's definitely problematic.
While today we are focusing on Colombia, we want to take a moment to highlight some awesome events here on campus.
As you know, here at Connected Cultures, we love to learn about the different traditions and celebrations every culture has. On October 13th, our crew had the chance to join the Asian Student Association for their Garba celebration. Let's go to our App Culture Corner. Hey, I'm Jalen Sturdivant, and I'm here with Kira. And Kira, as I take it, you are the host for this event.
Yes, so I work in Wellness and Prevention Services, so we partnered with Intercultural Student Affairs and the Asian Student Association to host the Garba this year.
How was it planning and coordinating everything together?
Honestly, for Garba, it's pretty easy, as long as you have a big enough space.
Okay, so tonight is called Garba. Like, it's basically a Gujarati festival. Like, in Gujarat, we worship Lourdes Durga, and we dance whole night or in a circle, and like to worship and show our devotion to her. It's also significant in the east side of India, that's West Bengal. There it's called Durga Puja, where they worship Durga Puja like in a different way. They don't do Garba there. But like in Gujarat, we just do Garba. Like it starts at 11 in night and like it ends at 6 a.m. in morning. And we don't stop, we just like go round and round.
Hi, my name is Melissa Weddle, and I'm Department Chair of Recreation Management and Physical Education at Appalachian State University. We offer 2 degree-granting programs, one in Recreation Management with a focus in Outdoor Experiential Education, Recreation and Park Management, and Commercial Recreation and Tourism. Our second degree-granting program in Health, Physical Education, and Coaching offers teacher certification for public schools in health and physical education. You can get a minor or certificate in coaching. We are the front porch to the Beaver College of Health Science, where our focus is on quality of life, wellness, and physical activity. We're located in the beautiful mountains of Boone, North Carolina, so come join us, check out our website, or take a class.
Welcome back to Connected Cultures. Today our crew has taken the time to learn more about Colombia. And one thing we are really excited to learn about is their food. So let's go to Seth Peterson as he teaches us to make chuleta valluna.
Hi, my name is Dr. Peterson, and today we're going to be cooking the Colombian delicacy, chuleta valluna. It is a piece of pork loin that is marinated, breaded, and fried.
The ingredients needed for this recipe include 1 3-pound pork loin, 3 chopped garlic cloves, 2 finely chopped scallions, 1 finely chopped white onion, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, a cup and a half of flour, a tablespoon of sazon goya, 4 eggs, 2 cups breadcrumbs, a half cup of vegetable oil, and to top it off with salt and pepper. I started off by using my snake shears to trim off the fat off the loin. It doesn't necessarily say that in the recipe, but there's just so much on the loin I decided to do what I did. I'm cutting 6 slices of the loin here, but I'll tell you later why you should cut into 12 instead. Then tenderize your loin. I went with a little rough approach. You do not have to do it the way I did. Set your meat aside, and then we get around to chopping our vegetables. Be sure to chop your vegetables as fine as you can.
So good.
Oh my god. I feel like every time we've done something, she's got
Garlic finger smells so good.
I already asked him
That's
that.
good.
Okay, I am so confused by that friendship. So, since she started working here.
Place your chopped vegetables in a large resealable bag. This is what you will use to marinate your pork loins in. Add your pork loins to the bag as well.
So, we had a mishap. We had a very fun time having said mishap, but in a way it kind of delayed our process. Oh hell! Oh my gosh. It's gonna be good though, it's gonna be good. We can rinse it when we're done when it's done marinating.
Oh, that gives us the segment of Seth always
Did you
dropping
get it?
things.
I have a segment of Seth when I'm dropping things. It's alright. We just gotta clean that. No, I'll clean it up. We're gonna rinse it off and
So that's
then
part of
we're
the
gonna serve
recipe.
it. And Ollie, and then yeah, it's all good. Don't start from scratch. day, hence why I'm in completely different clothing. So we're continuing on day 2 with the cooking. It also gives enough time to marinate the pork. And so there's some positives to come out of this. So just wanted to fill you in before we continue. Alright, now let's continue the cook.
Here you can see my crew chopping up new vegetables because I didn't feel confident chopping up new ones after what I did. You should let your pork loins marinate up to 4 hours or even overnight. That was one of the perks that came of us filming on a second day. The loins were already marinated and we could just start from there. Then add your oil to the frying pan on your stovetop and set the heat to medium. I'd recommend you don't use all your oil as you might need it later for the other pork you might be cooking. In one deep dish, add your sazon and flour together and mix well. I goofed earlier with getting the ingredients and got a loaf of bread instead of breadcrumbs. Make sure you get breadcrumbs and add that into another deep dish. In your final deep dish, add your eggs and whisk away. Make sure you lather your pork loins fully in each dish before you place it in the pan.
Yeah.
As mentioned earlier, we made a mistake by cutting the loins into 6 slices instead of 12, so it was especially difficult to cook it properly. We then decided to cut them in half so that we could get a better job on the pork loins. Be sure to cook each side for about 3 to 5 minutes. It might look burned for a bit, but it's the inside that will tell you if you've done a good job or not. It shouldn't look pink, more so white. There's no shame in putting your pork loins back on the stovetop. That's exactly what I did. Just want to make sure that you don't get sick from eating pink pork loin. After cooking each side, you are all done. Be sure to give a taste test before making it official.
Actually really good. I approve.
It's nice to see how much fun he has cooking all these different foods.
Yeah, and it always seems to turn out so good. Now let's go over to Worldwide Weather with Jay Troll.
Welcome back to Worldwide Weather. I'm Jay Troll. This week we're looking at Colombia. Unlike Boone, Colombia has a more tropical climate as it's located closer to the equator. Although it's known for its tropical climate, it's also quite interesting to note that Colombia has a very diverse terrain. While you can find warm sandy beaches and tropical rainforests, you can also find snowy mountains. One of Colombia's most famous mountains is the Montserrat. This is over 10,000 feet high. For reference, the highest peak in our very own Blue Ridge Mountains is just under 7,000 feet. And just like the residents here in Boone go to the Blue Ridge Parkway to enjoy a beautiful sunset at night, the Montserrat is a very popular destination for those in Bogota. Colombian cities have differing climates and yearly temperatures based on elevation and their proximity to the equator. But at about 3,000 feet, which is roughly the elevation right here in Boone, the temperatures can range anywhere between 16.7 degrees to 23.9 degrees Celsius, which for us Americans is about 62 through 75 degrees Fahrenheit. This is slightly warmer than here in Boone, but it's nice to see how even a country known for tropical climates can have so many similarities to our very own mountain town here in Boone. And with that, Connected Cultures will be right back after this short break.
Life is a journey. We're told that there are mountains and valleys before us. A mountaineer trudges through. Where others see an obstacle, a mountaineer sees an opportunity. A mountaineer climbs tomorrow's mountains today. So what is a mountaineer? A mountaineer is you.
Let's go! To a place where you can grow.
A place to be heard.
And take a closer look.
A place where you can crush it.
And push yourself.
A place to find your voice.
This place rocks. And rolls.
A place where you can get out.
A place you'll never forget.
So where is this place? Let me show you.
Welcome back to Connected Cultures. We've learned about Colombian food, fun facts, and we even took a minor break to check in at App State's very own Garba celebration. Now let's go to Connor O'Doherty to learn more about Colombia's land.
So while I was researching Colombia, I found a ton of amazing places. There are the giant Andes Mountains, the dense Amazon rainforest, and beautiful historical cities. Let me tell you something about them. Colombia is located on the northwest corner of South America, with Brazil and Venezuela to the east, Ecuador and Peru to the south, and a small border with Panama in the north. I was honestly surprised when I found out Colombia is the only South American nation that has a coast on the Pacific side and the Atlantic side. It's the only one in South America. I'll start with the Andes Mountains that stretch the entire 4,500-mile length of South America and come to a northern end in northwest Colombia. There are three distinct ridges aptly named Cordillera Occidental, Cordillera Central, and Cordillera Oriental. So basically that just translates to the western, central, and eastern mountains, which rise over 5 times the elevation of Boone. The tallest is Pico Cristobal Colon, and I've been studying for a while because it is now nighttime. In the middle of Colombia is the capital, Bogota. It's on a highland plateau in those central mountains where most of the population lives. Other cities like Medellin, Cali, Nieva, and Bucaramanga are geographically similar. With a population of over 7 million residents and an elevation of over 8,500 feet above sea level, Bogota is the highest city of its size in the world, and that gives it a really cool year-round climate. The highest temperature ever recorded was 82, where the median temperature doesn't regularly break 70. The Amazon rainforest covers 21 million square miles of South America and about 35% of Colombia. The Amazon is full of a wide range of biodiversity that isn't seen elsewhere in the world. However, every hour more and more of the forest is destroyed and exploited. Colombia has some 65,000 square miles of Amazon into 59 national protected areas to discourage further destruction. Woo! It's feeling a little bit like Bogota here. Bogota. Stupid joke, but if you ever wanted to see the largest mountains outside of Asia, uninterrupted, biodiverse jungles, 2 coastlines on 2 different oceans, and historically, culturally significant cities, then Colombia should definitely be on your list.
I had no idea that they had the highest coastal mountain range in the world. They have a lot of number ones.
Yeah, and I had no clue that the Amazon rainforest covered so much of Colombia.
That's incredible. It's been such a pleasure to learn about Colombia, and we would like to thank Dr. Tayas for joining us today and giving us some more insight on the country.
Join us November 5th for a special episode here on Connected Cultures, while we explore the different cultures within our very own crew and App State students.
See you next time.